Right guys, welcome to a new video. Today's video we're going to be talking about self-invested personal pensions, which are basically abbreviation for SIPP. So a SIPP is, like I say, a self-invested personal pension, and basically the benefits of this is the government pay in, or they match your payment to 25%. So for example, you can see down here, if I invest £25 each month, the government give me an extra £6.25. But like I say, I'm going to change this to $50 a month just to show you, just so if I go on to save changes. So I'm going to start investing £50 a month instead of 25, and you can see the government pay in £12.50, so they give me 25% extra on top of my $50. The significance of this, as I will show you, I can't actually access this self-invested personal pension until I am age 55. I'm 21 currently, so it's about 34 years, which is quite a lot, but this is, like I say, long-term investing. So just to show you the index fund I am invested in. So this is the fund, or the index fund, that I am invested in, and as you can see here, these are the years. So you have 3.5%, 8.14, 8.52, and then 21.35, and then 11.71. These are the percentages gained in this year. So there's 5 years here, and if you add these all up and then divide it by the sample size, which is 5 years, it's 10.45%. So on average, this index fund in the past 5 years has produced an interest rate of 8% a year. So once you've added these 5 years up and divide it by 5, you get an annual interest rate of, on average, 10% a year. But the stock market on average produces around an 8.5% a year. So you can see on my compound interest calculator, I've typed in 8% to be a bit conservative. My base amount is 270, just purely because that's what I have in my account, which you can see, £270. So the compound interest calculator, basically you type in your currency, base amount is 270, annual interest is roughly 8% a year, 34 years is the calculation period, because obviously I can't withdraw this money until I am age 55. My regular monthly deposit is £62.50, although I only put in $50 or £50, the government paying £12.5, so I get my actual regular monthly deposit is £62.50, and then this is on a compound interval of monthly, because this is the monthly amount I pay into the account each month. So if we go on to calculate, this will calculate every single year, and it will tell me how much my account will be worth in the period of 34 years. So if we scroll down, you can see the significance of this, £136,600 in a total of 34 years. So I will be 55, but I'll be 55 with £136,600, and the good thing is I can't withdraw this. I mean, I think you can cancel your account, but you will get charged and you won't be able to make as much, and there'll be fees and whatnot. So my objective is to not touch this account. I mean, if you think about it, £50, I mean, what is £50 is so, small of an amount. Let me just go on to my monthly savings just to show you. I mean, £50, the including the tax relief, I get £62.50. £52. I mean, most people spend that on a month on, on food or on takeaways or going to the cinema or a phone contract, whereas I don't really do any of that. I mean, my phone contract's £10 a month. My gym membership's £13 a month. My DVLA payment's £10 a month. My car, I have some other payments that are like £20 to £30, but this is my most expensive direct debit. I pay off my car insurance yearly, so this is my most expensive direct debit, but it's the most important one that I see fit, because, like I say, if I keep investing into this index fund for another, I know it's a long time, it's very, out there, but 34 years it's gonna come regardless if I invest or not. So I might as well put 50 quid a month away. I can put in £50 a month currently as a student, and it doesn't affect me. So I feel like I can carry on doing this throughout my life. If I can't afford to put in £50 a month, then like something's going wrong, or I just lower it. I mean, even if I lower it to like £30 a month, even with a £30, the government would still put in about £7.50. So even with, let's say, even with £37 over 34 years, you're still talking, £82,000, which, that's going to be a lot of money when I'm 55. So, it'll be a nice amount. It'll be a nice amount of money to, kind of do whatever I want to do at age 55. I know it's quite looking in the future quite a lot, but I feel like to plan for the future, or to, you need to plan for the future before it obviously happens to be able to enjoy the future, or else you're going to get to the future and be struggling, which I don't really want to go down that road. So I feel like this is a good, like I say, it's only £440 per year, but as you can see, this compounds. If you don't know the compound interest, the way of working it out, basically each year you're earning interest on interest. So basically in the first year, you can see my yearly deposit is 444. The interest calculated for the year is £42 here. So you can see I've got £444 plus my interest, which is 42, and then it's added on the 270, my base amount, which gives a total of 756. And then if you add the 756 plus the 444, you can see my interest now is £82. £82. I keep saying dollars because of my day trading. £82. The next year the interest is 126, and then the next year is 173. And if you keep going down, you can see the interest goes higher and higher, because you can see the account is building. Each year we're adding 444 plus the interest. So you can see over the period of 34 years, from year 1 my total deposits is 714, and then year 34 my total deposits is 15,000. But if we look at the balance is 756, and if we look at the balance here, it's 82,000. Now why is this? Well, we've got £67,000 worth of interest, whereas on year 1 total interest is £42. We go to year 20, the interest has grown to 14,000, and then we go to year 30, the interest has doubled to 44,000. So this is the interest which you are gaining throughout the period of years with the account balance. So like I say, I can't touch this until I'm 55, theoretically. So I think this is a great way for anyone out there who's wanting to, build a future for themselves when they get to retirement age. And you can easily set one of these up. They're very simple to do. I use Hargreaves Lansdown, one of the best kind of firms out there for any kind of long-term investing, especially with index funds. You simply just go on to their services, and you can go on to their pension, and you press SIPP, and you can literally just go on to start a SIPP, and you can just start your SIPP online now. So you can decide to just have one SIPP, or you can decide to have 2 or 3 and diversify and put like £20 into 5 index funds. So you can see here I have 3 index funds, so a couple of them are down at the moment, but that's a great time to put more money into them, because then you can get a dollar cost average. And basically if you keep buying, putting in £50 each month throughout the period of years, you're going to get a really good average cost, because some months you'll be buying at a high, some months you'll be buying at a low. So over the average of 34 years, over the long run, I know that I'm going to get a good price. So seeing that I'm a little bit down doesn't really bother me over the long run, because £10 in, when you're talking, you're going to have an account size of, let's say, so this is going to be 62.50. I won't bother too much about £10 when my account will hopefully be around 130,000. So like I say, some years you're going to be down, but then the years you go up will basically even out to, have a nice smooth kind of equity curve. The equity will be going up, but you will have years where you come down, you will have years where you go up. So over the long run, zoomed out, it'll look like a nice curve. So like I say, I've got 3 index funds. So I currently invest into this one monthly, which is £50, and then I add into these 2 basically whenever I see fit. But my future plan will be to put £20 into each of these, and then just basically have £60 going out each month. And this one is Japan, and then this one is China, and then this one is basically the UK and America. So if you go on to my actual stocks account, you can see you can see here I have index funds all over the world. Now, although there's only a couple pound in these, I did used to have £100 in each one of them, but I withdrawed it to put into my day trading account. I withdrawed it to put it into different investments to pay off my car insurance and stuff like that. So like I say, I do have about, I think there's about 14, probably a little bit more than 14 index funds here, and these are all over the world. So you can see I've got Russia, I've got Asia, I've got America, I've got the UK. I've literally got hundreds of index funds, and these all own companies all over the world. So for example, if you just go on to this Fundsmith equity, you can see basically an index fund is an index that owns like 100 to 200 companies. So instead of buying each company individually, you can see here these are the top holdings. You've got PayPal, Microsoft, all these companies that they own them. So you can see the size of the fund owns 28 holdings, but all you have to do is invest into this one fund, and you basically own all these stocks. So as soon as PayPal starts doing well or Amazon starts going up, this fund will increase in value as the stocks go up in price. And you can see here we've had 3% in 2013 to 2014, nearly 25% in 2014 to 15, nearly 34% in 15 to 16, 20% and then 17%. So if you divide these numbers by 5, add them all up, divide it by 5, you get a good average of about 15 to 16%, which is quite a good investment interest rate in a year. It beats the banks. Your banks pay you about 1% a year on your money, but inflation's about 3%. So each year you are down minus 2% in your bank account. So this is why I don't really hold much money in my bank account. I leave about £200 a month in there. And then I day trade with some, which is more of a riskier, well, the riskiest strategy I use for, it's mainly for like kind of like a fun investment style. I learn more, I learn a lot from day trading, your mental stability, your character, a lot of mental character building techniques from day trading. I invest with my index funds, and I also do stock trading as well. So I do have quite a different kind of diverse portfolio. I do have some property index funds as well, which are quite good when other stocks aren't doing so well. So when I think I have a property index fund as well, which is, I can't see it. I got so many of them, I'm not too sure. It's one of these is purely for properties, so basically invest into all property startups. But this just gives you a bit of a brief overview of kind of starting a SIPP, and just a bit of a background on some of the other investments choices that I do invest in. So this is my stock account. I only have one stock. This was my first ever stock. This was my first learning curve. When you buy a stock, it costs you £10 to buy that stock. Now the thing is, when you buy that stock, it costs you £10, and if you only put £100 in, 10% of £100 is £10. So basically, as soon as you buy that stock, you are 10% down, because it costs you £10 to buy it. So theoretically, you need the stock to go up 10% to cover the £10 which costs to buy it. Now, when you want to sell that stock, it also costs £10. So you need that stock to go up by 20% in order for you to make any money, which is going to take 4 to 5 years. So lesson learned, whenever you invest into single stocks, always invest a minimum of £1,000, because 1% of £1,000 is £10. So you only need the stock to go up 2% in order for you to cover your buy and sell. So don't ever invest into a single stock unless you invest under over £1,000. The advantages with index funds is you only need to invest. You don't have to. It doesn't cost you to buy or sell them, so you can buy and sell index funds basically for free. You don't have. They don't charge you for doing that. So I think they are very important to do if you want to try and build your financial future and become financially independent. So, like I say, £62 each month, which actually costs me £50 with the government's 25% relief payment kind of thing. Over 34 years, hopefully, if I have the discipline to keep this going, I will have a account size of 136,000. Very incredible. Hargraves Lansdowne if you want to open an account and get started. One of the best firms out there to kind of do index funds and invest with, you know, pensions and self-invested personal pensions, index funds, stock accounts. Like I said, this is more for long-term invested, definitely not for day trading. But that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I really hope you've found this informative. I hope you learned something from this. I hope you already have an account and already, you know, invest for the long term. But if you don't, it's probably a good thing to look into. Like I say, if you're young like me and you are looking for the long term, it's definitely a good thing to get into. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.